What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. I am David. I'm joined with Robin, and today we are covering some breaking news as the SEC has set its sights on Yuga Labs and Bored Ape Yacht Club, claiming that the NFTs are a security and should be regulated like stocks. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. The SEC is investigating Yuga Labs and Bored Ape Yacht Club. Now, it's important to note, this is not a lawsuit yet. This is just a probe and an investigation. This is sourced from multiple websites, including Bloomberg, Yahoo, and CoinDesk. The SEC is probing Yuga Labs, the creator of Bored Ape Yacht Club, over whether sales of his digital assets violate federal securities law. Also to note, ApeCoin, which was also in the discussion, was falling almost 8% following the publication of Bloomberg's original story. And a spokesperson for Yuga Labs confirmed that it was cooperating with the SEC's probe into the matter. Now, how do they determine whether something is a security? Well, something called a Howey test. This is something that's been around for decades. A lot of people say this is out of touch. This is out of date. We need a new thing. But this is what the SEC goes off of. Howey test, whether something's an investment contract. Now, it's important to note, it has to fit all four criteria. It can't be 1 out of 4, 3 out of 4. It has to be all four, okay? First one, was there an investment of money? Second, was there an expectation of profit? Third, was it invested in a common enterprise? And fourth, were they derived from the efforts of a promoter or a third party? So let's go through this one by one. Robin, number one, investment of money. Yes. Number two, expectation of profit. I would say, I could argue no.
Yeah. Oh, I think it would be majority of the people that bought Bored Apes got them for profit, but you can also look at celebrities that overpaid for them that are just simply keeping them as their profile picture.
Here's the thing too, Rob, is you got to remember, this is what's going on in the case against Ripple as well. Is they're saying, and they have a sign of 90,000 people who signed a document saying they only bought XRP to use it, not to speculate or make money on it. And so, and this is a court case that's been dragged on for a few years now. So in my opinion, this is going to be the biggest argument if it does go to court, whether there was an expectation of profit. Okay, so we'll leave that one in the middle for now. In a common enterprise. Yeah.
Yuga Labs.
From the efforts of a promoter or third party.
Labs.
Okay. So should Bored Apes and NFTs be considered securities?
Okay. Well, here let's think about another crypto situation. And so Bitcoin is deemed a commodity. Why?
Because it's decentralized.
Okay.
There was no ICO.
Is Bored Ape Yacht Club decentralized?
No.
Now, Ethereum. It's not in the hasn't been sued by the SEC. Probably won't. It's a general consensus, especially with governing bodies, that Ethereum is sufficiently decentralized, so it's not a security. Right?
Yeah. So you're saying NFTs are about to be labeled securities?
I'm just saying. I'm just laying out. I'm laying out the prior situations, I'm laying out why is Bitcoin and Ethereum not a security? It's because of decentralization. Outside of that, you could make an argument if you were just to remove the decentralization. If Satoshi was spearheading Bitcoin and was outspoken and vocal, and if Ethereum didn't have the decentralization through their consensus protocols, both when they were a proof of work and now when they're a proof of stake, you could say that there's nobody at the top of the company making decisions. Can't say the same thing about Bored Ape Yacht Club. There are people at the top that are making decisions and directions, marketing the ideas that basically guide the ship. So now I think here what you were saying is where it differentiates is that it has utility, and securities don't have utility, right? A security, you're not supposed to.
You can't take your Tesla stock.
Yeah,
and
you can't take your stocks and go do things with them. Generally, now you could be a member of some club if you are part owner of, if you own stock in a certain company. But I don't know, man. I think we are in some uncharted waters. This isn't the first time that Gary Gensler has brought up NFTs being securities.
Gary Gensler is
out
of his
the
mind.
first time somebody has put an NFT project under the microscope.
He is such.
Here's my question.
He wants to be a martyr.
Here's my question. They're being probed in the same way that a lot of these other companies have been probed. BlockFi, Kim Kardashian, and if they're being probed, you think that they'll admit guilt and settle with the SEC?
I don't know. What's their other choice?
That's generally what happens to these.
Do they have pockets deep enough to do what Ripple did and spend 3 years and hundreds of millions of dollars on lawyers? Here's what pisses me off so much is Gary Gensler is in this little hole by himself. He's sitting there, and this is probably what he's thinking. He's like, all right, I'm going to lose this Ripple case, okay? Which the SEC rarely ever loses lawsuits when they go the full length and they don't settle. Rarely ever. So of course that'll be it'll be a tarnished, whatever you want to call it, on his legacy, his resume. Okay, so what I think he's doing. We saw this with Kim Kardashian, right? Who else did they try to go after that they settled with? Right, they settled with BlockFi. BlockFi paid $100 million, and now they're going after Yuga Labs. And I'll say this again. There's very few companies who have the pockets that are deep enough that can withstand going through a massive lawsuit with the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States of America. And my bet is Yuga Labs is not one of those. And so what he's trying to do here, trying to line up small victories down the line. So when the Ripple case comes down and the judgment comes down and the SEC loses, he can say, well, we lost one, but here, bam. Bored Ape, Kim K, BlockFi, Coinbase, whatever else they decide to go with. This is such BS, okay? This is such BS. They're trying to say, he's in here trying to say that Bored Ape, Yacht Club, the NFTs, and ApeCoin is like stocks. So they should be regulated like stocks. What? Like, this is absurd to me, dude. This is absurd. It's like he's bored, has nothing else to do, and decides to go out and say, oh, who can I sue next? Who can I probe next? Right? I mean, am I crazy for saying this?
I don't think it has anything to do with XRP. Here's the thing. They bring thousands of lawsuits out a year. And here's the thing. Okay. Whether they win or lose, they're still going to keep suing people. Do you think even if they lost this court case, they're going to like all of a sudden stop?
You know why, bro? You know why? Because when the XRP and the Ripple lawsuit comes down and a judgment is ruled that it's not a security, that'll set precedents for everything moving forward.
For ICOs. For ICOs, that doesn't change. That doesn't change.
There's gonna be
the lawsuit. Here's the thing: the lawsuit is for ICOs, and if you deem NFTs a security, then that's a whole different game. It's a whole different avenue. The same thing with the Kim Kardashian. That's promoting securities in the form of an ad by. That's a different law as well.
If you cannot label XRP, which is a token, as a security, good luck trying to do one for NFTs.
It wasn't that. What it was the token sale, the issuing of the token. They're not suing another company for the ICO issuing of a token. They're starting with XRP. Once that one is done, they'll move on to the next one. They're also suing Kim Kardashian for illegally promoting a security. And she settled for that one. Now you have they're suing the NFT in claiming that that's a security. That's a different loss. Here's the thing. They sue thousands of companies. Like, that's what they do. They're not, if they lose one, they're not all of a sudden going to fold up and just put they're going to just be like, okay, we lost that one. Okay, well, keep suing. That's what they do. And I honestly don't think that this has anything to do with XRP. Nothing.
I disagree.
What does it have to do with XRP?
Everything I'd explain, I'm not going to go over it again. Another important thing to keep in mind as well is in a Yahoo article, it talked about how they have an issue with how the ApeCoin token was distributed, including being airdropped. Now, if you remember, if you were a holder of BAYC and any other like the Bored Ape Kennel Club and the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, you were airdropped a certain amount of ApeCoin tokens, which for some people were hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're saying that was a security or an investment contract as well. What are your thoughts on that?
That's
Are
even more.
airdrops a bad
I'm telling
idea?
you, man, there's so many. Okay, so one, you got NFTs being deemed as securities, or at least the probe, the details from the probe are suggesting that they're investigating NFTs as security, but also they're investigating the ape token, which was airdropped, as a security as well. And that brings into question, like, well, if you don't have an ICO and now you're airdropping, that's a whole nother game. And then to circle back on what you were saying, like, hey, they're not, Yuga Labs isn't gonna go the mile and go to court, right? You don't think they're gonna do that, right?
They don't have the money.
Okay, but here's what has happened in the past with the settlements. BlockFi changed their lending model. They stopped doing the staking. They complied after they settled, and they stopped doing what they were doing. Kim Kardashian complied. She's not gonna promote any crypto for 3 years. Now, if you're saying that Bored Ape Yacht Club is gonna settle, they can't have their product anymore. That means if you settle, you say, okay, yes, we were security, we were at fault. Here's here's a fine, or here's a settlement. And then now what do you do? Now what do you do?
We don't know what the settlement would look like. Okay.
No, but
we don't even know if a lawsuit's going to come out.
But you're admitting guilt. In settlement, you're admitting guilt. That's literally you admit guilt and you settle on a lower amount. It means you're not privy to the full implications of the punishment. That's what you do in a settlement. A settlement is always an admission of guilt, and then you, on top of that, pay a negotiated amount of money or time if it's imprisonment. And if you're admitting guilt, you got to make a change, because you're going to get sued again if nothing changes, right? If absolutely nothing changes, if you still have the ape token, you still have the NFTs, and you got sued, you have to change something. That's the whole premise of the lawsuit. So are they going to delist their NFTs? Are they going to take away their ape coin? Are they going to do both? Or are they going to fight it in court?
Well, here's the thing. And if you're wondering what kind of effect it had on price and floor price of the Bored Ape and the price of ApeCoin, obviously we did mention ApeCoin is down around 10%. But the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, the apes, those are holding steady. They're at 75 ETH floor, 7% listed, right? No big change.
The market has went down in NFTs. They were selling it over 80 a little over a week ago.
A few days ago, actually.
Yeah, a few days ago. So that one doesn't have as much volume. So I think maybe in a couple days we can see what the effects of this are, and especially maybe we'll get more details on some of this. And
do you think there's any situation where they probe and they don't go through with a lawsuit? Like, what are they? If you were to put percentage odds,
I think here's the thing: they're gonna force them to sell. They're gonna say this was a illegal. They're gonna have several illegal issuings of securities. If at least one, the ApeCoin or the NFT. Why would they probe? I mean, who knows? Maybe they probe and they everything's buttoned up and they're like, okay, this is has utility. You can use it to get into certain parties. So it is like a ticket system. But
guys, this just broke today, like literally a few hours ago. So we don't have all the information. But as information continues to come out, we will continue to cover it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and come join us Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for our daily live show. That'll do it for the video today, guys. Like the video on your way out. We hope you enjoy the content. On behalf of myself and Rob, thank you guys so much. We love you. We'll see you next time.